Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. Okay, so it was a few different things it was that I was gonna say, y'all. But since the video stopped on its own, or not, it didn't stop. I stopped it. It's one of those, you know what? It must not be meant for me to say that. Let me just do the guidance portion. Let me just do the guidance portion. Right. But I can't answer a couple of questions. First and foremost, the first thing that would be done wrong is if you are, and I've said this before, I'm not poly. I'm definitely not poly. I am demisexual. However, I'm understanding of things on a deeper level. So just because a person asks for it, that's too much like that genie in the bottle bullshit. So of course, naturally, the answer would be no. That's that part. The other part of it, um, I had, I was being very ambitious, y'all. I was, um, because I was under the impression that if I could not only heal myself, but have the ability to heal others, that I would be able to instruct them on how they could heal themselves. First and foremost, that's the first thing. Second thing, I I saw two people's numbers that I used to be cool with. I have no desire to talk to them to no capacity. I said no. You're not finna treat me the way you treated me and then think that I'm gonna be cool with you just because you feeling bad. I was feeling bad a lot, a whole lot. And y'all were the reason why I was feeling the way I was feeling. So why would I go back to that? That don't make sense. Um, from what I'm gathering, y'all love spells then backfired on y'all asses. That's what y'all problem is. Po things, stop doing love spells. I told you motherfuckers that. Sorry, y'all. I told people that about 4 or 5 years ago during the Gemini Sagittarius axis. So I want to say it was definitely about 5 years ago. Stop doing love spells. Stop doing all that. Because you're the only person it's going to affect. I had already told, and if the chakras are just being cleared out, due to, now I will say, I can cop to it. I did do a healing ritual. I was instructed to do one that was aimed towards uh, the healing aspect of those children who were sexually assaulted, kidnapped, all of that. That was the last ritual I did. So there's that portion. The other part of it was a dream that I had a while ago, and I was meant to talk about it on my last recording, but I didn't talk about it on my last recording because Spirit had pulled me do to make sure that my actual presence was known in 3D. See, I don't get caught up in social media and all this other stuff, or yeah, and the human mind is too damn messy. Oh, it's so messy. Oh, you guys, y'all don't know how to organize your thoughts worth a damn. But in any event, I'm gonna try and keep this as PG as possible. I'm gonna try and keep it PG, y'all. I promise. But ultimately, what it was that took place, right, was in the dream I had. I was in this hallway, and yeah, because I had got interrupted when I was about to talk about this. But I was in this house, right? And I had made it to this floor. Now, on the floor that I was on, I saw that my sister was in a room that was all red, and she had some stuff going on with her, right? And then I went into that room, and I was trying to help my sister out of it, but for whatever reason, she didn't want to come out of the room, right? And so Yeah, my sister Pearl. Yes. And so she didn't want to come out of it, like at all. And so I was told to leave. So I did leave, right? I walked out of that room and I walked down the hallway. And then I looked to the right and I started seeing different people in different areas, right? It kind of gives you the feel of, it would give you, the setting of it would give you the feel of the video Haunted, where she looks in the rooms and it's all these different things going on, right? Some people call them fetishes. Other people just get turned on by different things. It is what it is. So I don't pass judgment on that. All right. So it's that part. Um, I heard you did it on people who were sexually activated too early. Yeah. So they can't depend on that as a wound anymore. It's one of those, no, if things have been put in place on the energetic level for you so that you could be healed. Now you have no choice. Um, in any event, uh, as I was walking or continuing down this path, and I came to one room, and in the dream initially, right, it was my daughter, and it was my baby girl, and then it was that other guy that I used to text too damn much because he didn't listen worth a damn. And that was very bothersome considering that he was older than me and he was supposed to. Maybe it's because his ears not pierced that he don't listen well. I don't fucking know. Anyway, the two of them were sitting and they were watching TV. Now, and then from there, in this dream, because with me going back into this space, I'm starting to see some other stuff. A lot of things have changed, right? So in any event, um, and then I saw my dad, right? And within me seeing my dad, I spoke to him about a couple things, and then this other door opened. Within this other door opening, it was a man dressed in all red, which realistically he looked like a cardinal. Uh, from from one of the major cathedrals or the Vatican. He looked like a cardinal, and he told me that I was allowed to be in this room. Now, in this room, y'all, oh my goodness, it had all these books. Oh, it was so many books, like beyond Beauty and the Beast type shit. Okay, excuse me, but beyond Beauty and the Beast. And he said, as long as I utilize the information for healing, that I would always be granted access to this room. I only utilize the information for healing. And what I'm getting from it is it was the Akashic records of people, period. So ultimately, when I had that particular dream, or not even that dream, that's the type of astral travel. That's astral travel as well. So can I do that? Yeah, absolutely. You'll be amazed how many people actually astral travel opposed to just dreaming. So there's that. In any event, after I did that first time, right? But in this room, it had a globe in it and it was sparkling. And then you walked a little bit further back and it was this telescope. But the telescope allowed you to see other galaxies because, like, when you looked out, you saw all the constellations and everything right then and there. It was just, yeah, this room was amazing. God, it was awesome. But so since then, right? Uh, the room with my sister in it, right? it's that's been sealed shut, and then the room with that had my baby girl and the person I texted entirely too damn much. My baby girl isn't in that room anymore, And my dad, he's not in the middle. He's now off to the side. So there's that. So like I said, for those people who have been passing their tests, congratulations, good job. I still can't talk to you in 3D. You're not there yet, and more than likely I'm not supposed to wait either. I'm not supposed to wait. Because I was giving the information as I was coming across it, and you didn't pay attention. That's not my problem. See, the difference between Earth School and regular school, in regular school, you can repeat a grade with no problem and elevate after that. In Earth School, and it's just the same as when you're in regular school because you don't even have the same classmates any longer. And it's pretty much the same in Earth School. When it comes time for repeating lessons and stuff like that, you're gonna be stuck with the new class, not the class it is that you would have initially been in. In that regard, that was a lesson for the person that he should have taken well before now. And because he was connected to that old collective, that's the only reason why he's allotted to communicate with me right now, because it is Mercury retrograde. Don't nobody care. I'm gonna say the same thing I said last time. 1144 as I said it. The intuitive healing that will come into place. I said no. I said no, and I stand on no. 11:55 as we shift. A lot of this is stemming from those people who had watched the ethereal touch readings. Every time one of the readings came up in a love reading and it was ethereal touch attached to it, those are the readings that you should have paid attention to. And from what I'm gathering, nobody took notes. No one took notes, or they didn't take good notes for themselves or for others. So there's that portion. But yeah, there's that portion. And if a person feels something, like for me, with a person even attaching to my name, oh, she like money. Yes, I do like money. You got to be a damn fool not to like money. It's a valuable freaking resource. I said this. You want to know what upsets me is I have to say it every Mercury retrograde. I am a Taurus. Do you understand me? Bitch, I'm a Taurus. Okay, so being hardworking and enjoying the finer things in life, that's natural. I'm supposed to do that. And on top of that, I'm a woman. That's that part. The other portion of it is that I definitely was paying attention to, and what infuriates me, I've dated people who are older than me, like guys in their 60s. And what upsets me the most is that there are people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s still addressing the person that they would want to be with as their baby mama or their baby daddy. Bitch, I'm a wife. I will not lose my posture just because you won't grow up. So please understand that regardless of what the situation looks like right now, I know what my posture is. And I know what my discipline is, even if you don't want to acknowledge yours. I hope everybody getting their shits and giggles out of it, because I said no. I said no. Please get mad. Ooh, please get mad, because everything y'all say and do backfire on your ass. Please get upset. So there's that portion. The other part of it that I definitely paid attention to, Cosmic Butterfly. The other portion of it is the Cosmic Butterfly. Yeah, I got the Journey of Love. Because I'm going to try, I have to do a love reading, because in the whole Dark Knight aspect, a lot of people claim that they were doing things out of love. Cheating on a person that you claim you so interested in, blocking them on social media that you claim you so interested in, not talking to them Because you claim you so insecure. None of these things are love, ladies and gentlemen. Who cares if you don't love yourself? That's not the job that I was assigned. I was assigned the task of showing love to others. It wasn't the stipulation you show love to people on the condition that they love themselves. That wasn't how that goes. None whatsoever. I read the assignment and I read the fine print. So pay that some attention. Cosmic Butterfly is the card that came out for the Journey of Love. Ultimately, it's the universe telling you about the different types of transformations that will be coming into place with love. Also, one of the other reasons it is that I did, because I have to repeat myself right now, this is the other reason why I didn't teach high school. This is the other reason why I didn't teach high school. Middle school was okay, but I didn't teach high school because once a person has been conditioned to not being heard, they take on a stance of combativeness when things are being told to them. Part one. Part two. When I was on speech and debate, right, I pay attention to a person who could argue both sides. I paid attention to that. Within me being able to pay attention to whether a person. Okay, so ultimately, regardless of whether or not you as a person can understand the signs and symbols and synchronicities, right? On the journey of love, you just simply pay attention to what gets highlighted to, with, and for you as an individual. All right. But yeah, in high school, please don't. Yeah, because high school love, that wasn't. It was hormone filled, hormone based, and hormone induced. And I'll be so very honest with you. Any essence that comes around me that uh feels that it has to remind me of the past realistically shows that there hasn't been growth in their spirit. So I'm not supposed to encounter them in the physical. So it's that. But with this cosmic butterfly, right, the main thing you want to pay attention to is the willpower. You need to pay attention to what your willpower is and what your desire is, right? Your genuine desire is. That's that sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, and the different influences that the third eye chakra would have and crown chakra would have. Now, within your crown chakras, I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, because if you've had a lot of different people in your head, like I do my own hair. I don't like a lot of people in my head. It's not to say that people aren't skilled, but the reality is their essence don't blend with mine, especially if they offering. It's one of those, let me do your hair. No. I definitely don't want you to touch my hair. Primarily because I had a Scorpio woman who took a lock out of my hair and did spell work, a love spell, so to speak. Oh, that was the binding spell. That was the initial binding spell. And that's why I was so strong. Yeah, either way, within that spell work being done, it deterred me from even showing my hair. So that's that portion. But yeah, so that's the part of the transformation that comes into place with wisdom. And the reality is, that's how the universe shows you it loves you, is by giving you these synchronicities and different signs and symbols and things of that nature to let you know where you should go and where you shouldn't go. Okay? So it's that. The other thing is the intelligence that comes into place with organization and health and the collection of information within being a cosmic butterfly. I used to say this all the time. When a butterfly goes into its cocoon, it does not realistically, quote unquote, know what it's going to come out as. Caterpillars go into a cocoon and they can either become a butterfly or a moth. It's the same thing, they just ingest different material in order to sustain themselves. Butterflies do the vegetables and all of that other stuff, the grass. And moths, they do the clothes or meats. We have the meats. By the way, I will go ahead and say that I am the only beef I have is with the fact that I was diagnosed with anemia and I need hamburger from time to time. If you feel like I got beef with you, that's because you did one of them damn spells and it backfired on your ass, and you feel some type of way because I didn't get fucked up. You did. Hidden Beauty overall essence on the journey of love, and and what happens in the cosmic butterfly essence when two aren't coming together. One of the things, yeah, I just heard they need some reminders. Why you have no? You ain't got to be sorry, and you don't have to be careful. Just know I can hear everything. I can hear it all. In the cosmic butterfly and coming together aspect, one of the biggest mistakes, and the irony is that all of this was considered a blueprint for, yeah, in short, it was like, and this is the reason why I don't like even acknowledging twin flame theory or anything, because y'all literally put me, you didn't do this with other people who claim to be twin flames. I know this for a fact because I looked them up. But with me, you put me through so much degradation and hell, all because you didn't understand that the word karmic or karma has two sides to it. There's karma as the umbrella, and then there's good karma, and then there's bad karma. So when I acknowledge, yeah, I'm karmic or I'll be karmic, that's no problem. You didn't pay attention to what it was that was being done. 2211. In short, you didn't pay attention to love in its verb. You only wanted to pay attention to love in its form of sexuality. Because you don't know how to control yourself. That's okay. It happens. It happens. No one's upset with you for that. But what is upsetting is the fact that at the age of 40 anything, you talking about having a baby mama because you don't want to get married. And you still fucking your baby mama after y'all been divorced. Make that make sense. You might as well just be with that person. Especially if they letting you, be intimate with multiple people in front of them and all that. Baby, that sounds like you got a cakewalk. I don't see what the problem is. That sounds like every man's dream and every man's fantasy. So, I don't get it. Now, on the other hand, right, for the alchemicalization of things, it'll be about coming together. In short, that yin and yang essence, and whether or not you know your shadow side, and whether or not you've embraced your shadow side, whether you can love on your shadow side. The other thing that I know was talked about was that seasonal depression. I'm gonna go ahead and put this out here. If you're doing love spells, if you claim to any capacity to be a wizard, warlock, manifester, witch, a goddess, all of these have different names, but they essentially do the same thing. They manifest and they get shit together, right? And you're doing love spells on people, and then you get depressed or you get really obsessive, it is not you manifesting. You are feeling the effects of your own work. So in short, you're telling the universe you don't know what you're doing because you can't identify the work it is that you put out there. Again, that's why I said what I said. And I said no. I told y'all, sometimes a good healthy fuck you will be perfect for a situation. So it's that part. The other portion of it that I noticed, right, because on the whole journey of love, I got the Seven Sisters Tarot out, or not Tarot Oracle, right? It's about the whole past life situation. Some of the past life situations I know, um, I personally have already encountered were in Creve Core, which stands for broken heart or having a broken heart. By the way, that's already manifested for me with the person it was that I was connecting to. And I seen them on the bus already. So I don't need you to try to manifest anything. Because you really suck at it. You're really shitty at it. You can manifest chaos. And I know chaos practitioners that do a better job of manifesting this shit. But you've already manifested chaos, but you can't manifest money. You can't manifest finances. Make that make sense. In short, we're not. Yeah, when you unevenly yoked with a person, we're not evenly yoked. Go ahead and let it go, baby. Let it go, let it burn, let it all come down. And stay with where you get everything you want in 3D, not everything in 5D. That's unfortunately another one of the things it is that has to be examined. And it's realistically highlighted a lot with these two mutable signs, Virgo and Pisces, but it happens with every sign. So opposed to looking at it for the Virgo and Pisces aspect, look at it the way you're supposed to do at the big age of 40, 30, anything over 35. You're supposed to be able to pay attention, get this information. Okay? You're supposed to review the differences between your ways of thinking as a child when you were a young adult and what you thought you would have to do as a child and a young adult in order to get to old age versus you're at old age now. You're at old age now. And how are you going to get further along through retirement without government assistance and calling somebody your baby mama or being fascinated because you can bed, for lack of better phrasing, 6 or 7 women at the same time? That's gonna get you a disease, a dis-ease, and some demons. No, thank you. I do provide cleansings, though. I do provide cleansings. You are more than welcome to. You're more than welcome to, talk to me about that for a fee, because I'm not doing nothing for free. I did everything for free for 4 years, and you're doing well while you're talking shit about me telling you that you need to pay me for my services when you had no problem at all with paying a practitioner to do work on me. So again, a good healthy fuck you. That being said, the Seven Sisters, what I'm thinking, no, because Artemis is definitely something that's coming up, and I know he's a Libra. But he does realistically, in the mutable madness, you will have people who relate to the African proverb and tale, where it's a beautiful face in front, but it's a Jekyll behind their head. Now, when you bring that to the forefront, what it would be talking about is the destructive thoughts of one's subconscious. And it doesn't matter how beautiful they are on the outside or from what you can see. It's the destructive thoughts that will chew you up and spit you out. So that's where that translates from. I do recall, because it was every person that ever did me wrong. Yeah, every person that did me wrong, they got what they needed. So it's one of those, I don't have to talk to you. You got what you needed already. The Coven. Oh. This is about some Coven stuff for the Red Queen. With the whole off with their head type situation. No, because that would be giving Bloody Mary. So somebody must be on a cycle. I'm not. But I'm not pregnant either. Pause. And for record, I already stated what the pregnancy was that was birthed from Poetic Justice and the spell work that was done. That's how Light Work Ain't Light Work is here. And he's never donated to Light Work Ain't Light Work. he's only paid me back after I've done something for him. In short, that still constitutes as theft and is realistically not reciprocation. I counted it as reciprocation because I was trying to give his ass a pass, but it's not reciprocation. Period. That's theft. Bruh. So there's that part. The other portion, heir. One not having the coven not having an heir. That's what it is. Y'all'll be fine. Y'all don't need no damn heirs. Look at what the fuck you bitches done did. Y'all not showing that you're not even showing love as a rebellion. You're not showing the evolutionary act of love. The evolutionary act of, in this situation, would be you paying what you owe. Regardless if I've forgiven you for it or not is irrelevant. If you've paid, then you don't have that on you no more. I keep giving y'all the fucking answer to how you get up out of this shit, and you don't listen. You don't. No, all it did was, in my God conscience, be like, you know what? I understand why God do things the way he do. And I understand why Goddess do things the way she do them. I do, because y'all like to be hard-headed and think somebody gonna come save you. If I text you, that means I've saved you. I've saved you several times already. And I ain't looking to die for nobody but myself and my kids. And I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. And I'm definitely not going to put my kids in harm's way. Y'all did that enough already. 31 when I said it. So, heir, right? In short, the coven not being able to make the potion. Not being able to make the potion. Not being able to sustain love, of course, and Gaia. Okay, so ultimately, Gaia, dragon goddess, is the overall essence. So the hidden beauty that comes into place with being a dragon goddess. Ultimately, what this is boiling down to is, every bit of judgment that you passed on me, you receiving it now for yourself. Part 1. Part 2. This is the reason why I am not in a coven. I'm just natural. I wasn't taught. It's natural for me. Is because I'm not about to be blamed because Sally was jealous of Sue and Heather was jealous of Miranda. So Sally and Miranda got together and attacked Sue and Heather. And now all of a sudden, I'm in the middle. No, thank you. I ain't got time for all that confusion. I'm too damn old. I told y'all, I was in my fucking 40s when I turned 30. Y'all thought I was playing? You thought I was lying? No. I had already had 3 children, bought a house, was repairing my house, and was actually at that point welcoming person that I text too much to come and visit me. He didn't want to come because of the coven making some mistakes and him letting them. Do with that what you will. Because that her wanted too much attention. They did want too much attention. And the reality is now they're getting all of the attention that they could ever need. Right? The other thing is Gaia, right? What it is to heal. To be a natural healer, right? And what I'm getting from this is there was some situations that, now because this is giving woodwork and earth magic. Yeah, no, because it's a way that you can create portals and things of that nature through geomancy. I was reading about geomancy a while ago. I studied that for a nice little second. Haven't really necessarily found a reason to utilize it for myself, other than identifying it for other people, because it is realistically native and indigenous to African tribes and shamanistic practices, whether that be across seas or according to the indigenous here, right? So earth magic, yeah, you'll be amazed how much people abuse stuff. You'll be amazed, but is what it is. I mean, we do have walking trees again, you know, and that's happening a whole lot more. So, in short, the earth gonna heal itself whether you want it to or not. Everything always flows back the way it's supposed to, whether you want it to or not. And within the nature of things, it would have been the air that came into place, right? With the coven, is there wasn't encouragement to seek one's destiny. Even though in the readings I know I did, I said you need to seek your destiny, right? And not seeing the truth or even paying attention to the signs. Now, in short, I'm not one of those people who feel like, oh, there's strength in numbers. No, not all the time. Sometimes those numbers can make you, they can cause more problems because you'll have too many, for lack of better phrasing, you have too many chiefs and not enough Indians. And I know, right? Yeah, part of the reason why the thought process was, oh, she can hear us. She gonna help us. She gonna help us was because I posted Chief John Atkins. That man has passed away. It had nothing to do with referencing what somebody else would say. Y'all just irked. So there's that portion. The other portion of this though, because what I'm getting from this is there was some stuff going on with the coven that ultimately there would have been a natural portion of challenging your perception. That's what I was saying. During speech and debate, right? If you were on the speech or debate team or you have like this lawyer type essence, you'll get what I'm saying. If you can't argue both sides, you realistically don't understand what you're even talking about, part one. Part two, if you always get a person that goes for the opposition, people who continuously over the course of life have decided to be on the opposing end of me, I learned that I'm not about to sway you. I'm not about to change your mind. I ain't got time for that. You made your mind up. Now, if you find out that you're wrong, now all of a sudden it's one of those, oh my God, I want us to, no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Because now you're not even standing on your path or your purpose and you're not surrendering to the flow of shit. Okay? So in short, continuously being on the opposition, yeah, because that's what it's given. Like this whole coven that would have been doing geomancy, they wouldn't have what they would need in order to make whatever elixirs for healing, and realistically, they're not knowing about different elixirs. I know this isn't because what it's given is how a person would. It was a few of them. One of them was I did have a potion was given to me once upon a time, but the thing is, you have to reintroduce that potion on a continuous basis. I don't deal with that person because come to find out, she was trying to poison me and make me a puppet. Anything that tries to make me a puppet, that's poison to me. Okay, part one. Part two. Don't get mad at me because Sprite doesn't know how to make the drink it is that I made. It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to have the same recipes or none of that. Freaking weirdo. Stop trying to recreate something that's authentic with something superficial. Because even in today's time, with the whole being a part of a coven, going to church is a part of a coven. Because you're under a covenant. All of that is the same thing. It's spiritual words. I'm going to need y'all to learn the difference between them. In any event. Nah, because some of the stuff that was kind of coming to me was the whole sister so-and-so and brother so-and-so being together, and if they married as sister and brother still, opposed to Mr. and Mrs. So y'all figure that out based out of that. But yeah, on the spiritual aspect, it does come off as toxic. Just giving y'all a heads up. The other part of it, the imprints, right, that are suffering from this is what it is to be a star, right? Some of this is going to be about being a star. Some of this is going to be about star seed. Some of this is going to be Aquarius essence. But, fun fact, the star does not only constitute as Aquarius, it also constitutes as the bull or Taurus. It too is referred to as the star. Those people who understand, who've been studying for a while, know that to be the truth. Go look it up if you don't believe me. It's right there in history. I'm just facilitating. Don't get mad at me because I'm facilitating. Okay? Be upset with yourself because you didn't want to fact check when it was initially told to you. That's part of the reason why why Taurus and Aquarius gets along on a lot of different levels, right? In their healed states. Hell, even in their unhealed states, they do. Because they handle things the same way. Now, the imprint, right, that'll come into place is the Empress being able to go on another day. So this is something about Friday. Friday and Venus. And if you would have Venus, and if there would have been a mistake made in your Venus chart, but you have the Empress, Nine of Wands, the Sun reverse, Ten of Wands reverse, the Chariot. So if you have Venus in Sagittarius, it would be one of those about the awareness portion. If you have it in Leo, and if you have it in Leo when Leo was in the cooler side of, if Leo was, whether Leo was in that, not Leo, whether the sun was in the North Pole or the South Pole when you would have been born. That's going to be something that you need to pay attention to. Yeah, in short, you need to be doing more in-depth studies on your damn self than other people. That's what minding your business and drinking your water means. That's that part. The other portion of it is the Empress being able to go on another day and there not being enlightenment of the relief of the burdens of one's victory. That's that portion. It's about the imprint. No, because imprints usually are tattoos. That's that part. The other portion of it is, I'm not big on this. I haven't done this before. Like, ever. Get a person's name tattooed on me. I don't get people's names. Yeah, people who are alive. No, I haven't. I typically do memorial tattoos, which makes a lot of sense considering I do mediumship. It makes sense for me. But yeah, and in that regard, I do intend on getting tattoo, a mother's tattoo. That's what that's gonna be about. Having a mother's tattoo and one not knowing. Right? So it's that part. Now, because and when a person makes a particular type of mistake. So there's that part. But the fruitfulness that comes into place with one being able to go on another day. Okay. And there not being enlightenment of the relief of burdens and one's victory. That's that part. Yeah, in short, what this is given is how a person wouldn't have known that it would have been 10 candles that would have been burned in order for them to be victorious. In short, it's all spell work. All of it would be about the whole amount of spell work. And opposed to it being 9 candles, right? In order for this love ritual to go on in place. Not 10. And it would have been done by, go ahead and say what you have, it would be done by a Cancer. Right? In this whole, the Chariot aspect. Now, whenever this particular one comes up, it's realistically, since this is more so a past life type situation, what it's really given is the situations that would have come with the Knights Templar, and if they wouldn't have had an heir, if they would have needed to recruit other people. That's what that's about. Oh no. Yeah, and how a person would have been pregnant. Now this is a person actually being pregnant. A person being pregnant when they would have, or the pregnancy continuing on, and a person and someone not knowing about, forget an abortion. That's one of them. The other part of it is within letting go. I'm hearing a track. No, because in the dragon goddess aspect, it'll be about law of attraction. Okay, you do understand that in law of attraction is also the flip side of the law of repulsion. Part one. Part two, you can't attract something that is repulsed by you. And when you do this kind of spell work on a continuous basis, yeah, it's no longer a love spell. Realistically, now it's a hate spell. So, you know, yeah, because after a person has reached compassion capacity in 3D, and y'all be tripping, y'all really really do. So there's that portion. The other part of it, right? Yeah, because it wouldn't have been about the past life portion. It would be about the different imprints that would have come into place with knowing about the cooler side of Leo, or realistically, the more subtle side of what it is a person would recognize. One of the things that Leo essence, right, gets a rap on is being loud and roaring and all this other stuff, right? But that's not what constitutes as recognition or being able to see what it is that was going on, right? With Leo essence, yeah, the more insecure they are about what their answer is, that typically is more reason why they would yell it. Opposed to being quiet, subtle, and just walking in it. And being able to identify, right? Identify doesn't mean that you have to point it out to everybody else. Leo essence doesn't necessarily have to be about pointing it out to everybody else. In short, a lion doesn't have to say it's a lion. You see that it's a lion. Just the same as with whether it's the Virgo aspect of the man, right, with the lantern, or the zodiac aspect of being a woman, zodiac magic. Yeah, I know y'all was doing zodiac magic, and that's where y'all was messing up a big time. Because I do tarot. You're not matching it. Again, like I said, putting super glue on a binding situation with a person who don't want to be bound to you, this is only going to make things worse for you. It's only going to make it worse for you. Especially considered, go ahead and say what you have to. Especially considering you would prefer to take pictures with your mother, with your daughter, and with your exes when you would feel that sensual, ethereal touch. That's your preference? Go figure that out. Please. Please do. And then y'all wonder why I wrote the poem completely complex. Y'all got Oedipus complex or Oedipus complex, depending on dialect, written all over you. In short, this wasn't a realistically, you took what was supposed to be a sweet love reading and turned it into this. In short, yeah, go back to your wife, sir. Go back to your wife. Because if y'all still bumping uglies, y'all together. I learned that from my mama and my daddy. No, thank you. I don't need that lesson again. And I dealt with it I had to deal with too much unnecessary bull. Too long. And I know I am not the only person, regardless of title, divine feminine, divine masculine, masculine feminine, he, she, they, her, them, that don't matter. You don't have a right to play with people like that. So let's grab the wisdom out of this. Do I have the wisdom of it? Okay. So in short, if the thought, I'm gonna get into the wisdom portion, but according to the cards, right? What I'm gathering from it though, right, is there wouldn't be karma associated with it. If the question is, do I get karma behind telling you no? No, I don't get karma behind telling you no. It's called free will choice, bitch. That don't stop just because of a fucking journey. a spiritual journey of any sort. It's a free will choice. And I said no. The Bard, because the music, poetry, myth, history, and enchantment of storytelling. Yeah, in short, when you deal with people who just like to talk to you just so they can go to sleep, that's craziness and being restricted. Oh, and the sacral aspect and the cosmic butterfly, a person not being able to write poetry no more. You can't write poetry. You can't do none of that. Okay, that makes sense. You were abusing it. You don't get to keep gifts like that and you abuse them. No. Now, on the flip side of that, yeah, I've been writing poetry. I've been drawing. I've been, like, my shit has been amazing. It's been wonderful. But let's see what it is. Not the Raven. Magic, coincidence, and synchronistic events. It went, no, because some of this is given the fall of the House of Usher, but it may not even be that. Aquinas was something that was coming up. But look at different, if you need inspiration, don't look to a person that you're doing spell work on or you trying to write about when you don't like them. That doesn't make very much sense. Look to something that is good, especially when you have the gift of tongue where you can speak things into existence. And you want to speak bad stuff? That is so horrible. All right. But the Bard, the Deer, the Word Lord, the Arrow Master, and the River Queen is given that song, like a river, shut your mouth and rock me like a river. Okay, so someone's really sexually stimulated. I'm gonna need you to, take care of that. That's what you have you for. But ultimately, it's the music, poetry, myth, history, and the enchantment of storytelling within the gentleness and diplomacy of communication, praise, dishonesty, hitting the mark, intention, detachment, and flow, letting go, and natural natural movement. This is given that this is the reason why I personally and why you don't get Tauruses being diplomatic, because you don't get them being diplomatic a lot, and you don't really get them being political. I make my mind up. I'm not going to make my mind up in private and then do something else in public. If I made it up in private, it's going to be the same in public. If I say, no, I don't like you in spirit, I'm not going to try and run up behind you. Mind you, especially if you put a person out of the space where they would have been able to express themselves to you. In short, as a reminder, you put me out your show or you did spell work on me to hurt me in any shape, form, or fashion, no, I'm not supposed to come back to you. That includes tweets, threads, Facebook posts, you talking to your chick, you writing it in your journal. And that's the tower moment, because I can feel it all. Okay? But that's the tower moment that come into place with knowing and understanding the transcendental spiritual truths of what it is for a person to be a word lord. Yeah, and no, because that's the word lord. So that's realistically talking about oh my goodness, what's it called? No, because in the word lord aspect, yeah, how a person would say, oh no, you was talking to me when you said this or that. And it's one of those, you don't know who I was talking to. And the problem that comes into place in that Cancerian essence and the imprint of you was talking to a particular person directly on a public platform, and it's generalized, and who it is that would have been a person in mind. Yeah, somebody must have tried to look on my TikTok and we not cool or we not friends, or they don't follow me on TikTok. You'll be fine. Basically, a nice thigh, a nice man thigh, they calves, ankles, they look real nice when they're in shape and they're in shorts. I'm not saying they're supposed to be walking around in booty shorts, just hoochie daddy shorts. Show a little thigh. You want me to show my ankles and thighs and everything else? Let me see yours. Show me, yeah, trade for trade. Show me yours, I'll show you mine. Let me stop. But the community, right, that comes into place with it being the whole debacle and Queen of Discs and the Ace of Swords. In short, the grimy opportunities that would have been presented being the truth. And the community knowing that there would have been opportunities for the opportunities it is that would have come into place would have been emotionally stabilizing, and that's the truth of it. In short, what this is given is Frozen. That's what it's given. It's given Frozen. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I love that song. That is such an encouraging song. When you need to let bygones be bygones, go on to help you move along your path. Yes, that's a great song because it be about the lyrics. That's the other portion that comes into place with this. Pay attention to lyrics. Pay attention to what the intention is. Pay attention to the detachment that comes into place with it. And me personally, I definitely critique poetry, period, primarily because I was taught to. And yeah, and it doesn't matter what type of poetry it is because rap is pretty much poetry just sped up. So there's that portion. The other part of it that I'm getting from this is in the signs, symbols, and synchronicities, Bambi. Bambi is something, Bambi and Ladybug. In the movie Bambi, he loses his mama right off the rip. Okay? Yeah, so it'll be in regards to some script magic that would have come into place. Some of it that I'm kind of getting from it is, if this is dealing with Crow Life Records, I have no association with Crow Life Records, Black Men Build, Diamond Divas, who else? Mission St. Louis. I don't deal with those people. I already fulfilled my karmic debt to them and they didn't do right by me. So I don't deal with them. I don't have to help them. If they watch, I hope they're doing well and learning their lessons and have retained the resources it is they have, but they didn't do right by me. They were this grimy opportunity and there being the illusion portion that'll come into place. And the truth of it that will come into place, some of this is going to be about the opportunistic viewpoint of Capricorn, whereas with the guarantee of there being an opportunity or a shot with Taurus, whereas it's dependent upon the thought process or how that Virgo feels in that moment. If they're emotionally stable, they can resonate either way. Because if they don't like you, you'll get some earth signs who know how to just, play that shit off. Virgos are great with it. That's why they make great method actors. Because they put on their front a lot. Versus others who don't know how to really do that. Then they make great natural actors. And the method portion of acting is to refine their natural way of behaving. So that's that portion. Yeah, because this is given in the knowing more in the community that it would be it's grimy, slimy, and it would feel right like an opportunity, but it really isn't. Oh no, because I know I speak to people, and I could close this out after this. I speak to people on a regular basis when I'm just going out and about, and talking to people. And if I've asked a person for their, or I ask a person a question, and I've seen them around a couple times, I'll just ask them how they're doing. But does that mean? Yeah, because y'all, again, this is with that whole manifestation issue that y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. Oh, she just talked to me. No, I didn't talk to him at fucking all. I didn't even talk to a past version of him. He's not ever been, damn me, my height. Or even close to my height. I'm gonna need y'all, you know what? It's okay. Have the day you all deserve. Please do. Have the day y'all deserve. And shout out to my super readers before I go. Shout out to the super readers. Super readers to the rescue. Right. We're going on a trip in our little rocket ship soaring through the sky. Little Einsteins. One of the things I'm thinking would help with the super readers, as I like to call them, right? Yeah, because it's always so much noise and so much karmic essence that keeps coming up. Because I know I'm about to do this. If you've been listening to meditation music, start listening to classical music instead. Because it'll help quiet your mind and help you focus a little bit more. Okay? So you ain't got to be delivering the same messages. No, because I've been seeing that on a continuum. Excuse me. People have been, unfortunately, been delivering the exact same message. Or you talking about with I'm not talking about only with Bella. I'm talking about with quite a few different people because people feel like they couldn't get it through with this reader. So let's see how many of them. Yeah, I heard they doing spell work. They are doing spell work on you, baby. So you know, defend yourself accordingly. Yeah, because no matter, yeah, at some point, that's the reason for the statement of you can pray all day and night long, but when you gonna get when you gonna get off your knees and actually do something about it? I did what I needed to about it, and anybody who needs to do something in additional, I am not standing in the way this time. I stood in the way more than a few times when I knew they was getting their ass handed to them. And in short, they call themselves trying to hand me mine. So it is what it is. I'm still here. I'm still grateful. I'm still here. I'm still grateful. But all of the covens and things of that nature. The other thing before I close, part of what would be going on with the spiritual connections and covens, if you were a part of a coven with a person in a past life, yeah, I could finish that up. And it doesn't matter when. If you were a part of that coven then, but you're not a part of it, if you're a solitary practitioner now, is what I'm getting from that. Yeah. So pay that some attention, and I want to see something real quick. No, because it would have been an episode of Motherland Fort Salem that would have been a triggering. Yep, that would have been a triggering mechanism. Queen of Pentacles is the overall essence in the spiritual contract. In short, how a person would be contracted out for emotional stability, right? And even because it's given that whole aspect of the truth behind with chaos practices, and realistically, that's just a blending of all of the different heritages and all of the stuff, and then setting an intention. I'm not finna get into that because y'all fucked up so much, it was ridiculous. Yeah, then went and started a damn war and everything. But the relief of burdens that would have come within one being rejected inside of their mind, and the changing of their mind within their being loved. Now, the other part, of it not being love. That's that portion. The other part of it would be, it would be about the alchemicalization of hatred. How a person would alchemicalize being hated, and the burden that comes into place with a person having to pass judgment on a loved one. Yeah, passed on loved one. Yeah, even in the whole aspect of a passed on loved one, it would still be people that you don't talk to. Those constitute as passed on loved ones as well. Okay, so I'm hoping that helps you guys out just a little bit. Gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things it is that will be going on. If you like to schedule your own personal touch of clarity, you are more than welcome to do so at lightworkaintlightworkllc@gmail.com. Or if you see me out and about and you would like to schedule a reading, please, just be mindful on how, because I'm a very etiquette based person, and the essence that's around me, since it's dealing with past essences calling themselves trying to blend with my current essence, my rage is completely different than it was before. It's more focused and it's more intentional now. In short, I don't miss. I don't miss. Alright. Because see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. Oh, and that's the other thing. Light work has nothing to do with sleeping with a lot of people. It has nothing to do with third party situations and hooking up men and women that are married and in committed relationships to people who are not married and in committed relationships for a sexual encounter. None of that's light work. None of that's red rum. In the reverse, it's not light work. That has nothing to do with light work. That's all some other stuff that y'all got going on. Don't associate that with me. Don't associate that with me. Don't associate that with none of that. Okay? Y'all ain't in actual military, so you don't really have a reason to do that. And if you did it a lot in the military, you get a prime opportunity that some people don't get. Okay? But yeah, I think I made all of the disclaimers. All right, y'all. But yeah, light and love to y'all, okay? Light and love to y'all. Please, please, please take care of each other, y'all. Right? It's too much stuff that's going on right now for y'all to be focusing on whether or not you can penetrate a person to any capacity. You should be trying to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. So that way, you can stay light while you work